Presented by First Merchants Bank. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper. Get ready to learn more about the Columbus Blue Jackets players and coaches, as well as find out what's going on this week in the NHL. Now let's join Bob McElligott for the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank.
Welcome to the summertime edition of the Inside Edge. The Blue Jackets have done quite a bit of work over the last couple of weeks through the NHL draft and through NHL free agency, and they even made a trade as they tried to bolster their roster for the upcoming season. Of course, the Blue Jackets only missed the playoffs by one win last year, and they wanted to make some significant changes. Don Waddell, the president of hockey operations and general manager, talked about making a big deal. He really wanted to do something significant. He wanted to add a top six forward. He wanted to change the defense. But when everything was said and done, there wasn't a lot that Don could do, and there were a lot of other National Hockey League general managers that felt the same way. So let's talk about what Don did do to change the makeup of the Blue Jackets. Well, on the night of the draft, just before the draft got underway, he was able to pull off a trade. He took Gavin Brindley, a former second-round pick of the Blue Jackets and a young, small winger who was playing in Cleveland, and he packaged him up with a third-round draft pick in this year's draft and a conditional second-round pick in the 2027 draft, and he added two bona fide NHL players. One of them is Charlie Coyle, a right-handed center and a guy that wins a lot of faceoffs and a guy that can play on the penalty kill. Charlie Coyle, a veteran of the National Hockey League. He's played with the Minnesota Wild. He was in Boston with the Bruins and then with the Colorado Avalanche, which is where the Blue Jackets got him through this trade. Along with him, Miles Wood came to the Blue Jackets. A bottom six winger. He loves to play with a lot of energy. He's got great speed. We saw him break into the NHL with the New Jersey Devils before he went to Colorado. So right there, before the draft had even begun, Don added a couple of players to his roster. Now, he had said for weeks on end that the two first-round picks that he had, they were available. But as it turned out, there were no takers for those first-round picks. And again, there are a lot of other teams that found themselves in the same boat. They would have made a deal. They would have traded their picks. But as it turned out, they just couldn't. There was just nowhere to go with them. And so the Blue Jackets wind up keeping both of those picks, and they select two players in the first round. It started at 14th overall when they took the big defenseman Jackson Smith. He played in the Western Hockey League at Tri-City. He is going to Penn State University in the fall. He is 6'3", 195 pounds, a big guy. They're really excited about the potential that Jack Smith brings on the blue line. And then there was a lot of talk about the Blue Jackets taking a goaltender and maybe taking a goaltender in the first round. And there were names that were bandied about. Well, they ended up taking a goaltender in the first round. I don't know if it's the one that many thought it was going to be, but it's the one that they liked the best. Pyotr Andrianov was selected 20th overall. He's in Russia. I've heard a lot of people complaining, and when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about a lot of you in the Blue Jackets nation, if you will, talking about Andrianov, that being unhappy that he's under contract in Russia for the next 5 years. To which I say, so what? It's going to take this guy time to develop anyway, so he might as well do it there. Let me tell you a couple of other guys that developed in Russia before they came over to North America and were ready to go right into the National Hockey League. Two guys. One of them you know very well. He just won back-to-back Stanley Cups. Sergei Bobrovsky. He was one of those guys. When he came over, he went right to the Philadelphia Flyers, and although he couldn't find the starting role that he wanted there, that made him expendable, and the Blue Jackets got him, and we know where that went from there. So Bobrovsky is one guy, and how about Andrei Vasilevsky, who played in Russia? Now, he was a former first-round pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he came over after a couple of years, but he did spend a little bit of time in his first two seasons in the American Hockey League. Not a lot, but a little bit. So for this guy, if he's going to play in Russia for the next 4 or 5 years, that's fine. Go ahead and develop. When you get here, be ready to be a starter. And I think that's exactly the way that the Blue Jackets looked at it. So after the draft, free agency comes. And again, this was an area where a lot of teams thought that they might be able to do something. As it turned out, not many could at all because teams found ways to keep their own players. A couple of guys that the Blue Jackets were looking at on their blue line. Aaron Ekblad had to be on that list. He had just won a couple of Stanley Cups with the Florida Panthers, right shot defenseman, a guy that could go in the top pair with Zach Werenski. But as it turned out, Ekblad stayed with the Florida Panthers. Rasmus Anderson, right-handed shot defenseman that's playing in Calgary. Reports were he was available, but Anderson came out and said that, well, if I'm not staying here, if I'm going anywhere, I want it to be to the Vegas Golden Knights. So with that, you had really your two best options were off the table. Vladislav Gavrikov was the guy that was talked about, maybe bringing him back, but he's a left shot. And the Blue Jackets already had a left shot defenseman in Ivan Provorov. They had a right shot guy, too, in Dante Fabro, who was a pending free agent. They got him done right before the free agency period started, a couple days before that. And then Provorov, he went right down to the wire and winds up signing a 7-year deal to stay with the Blue Jackets. Now, look, there is a likelihood, in my opinion, that the Blue Jackets had to go with a little bit more money. What was it, $59.5 million over those 7 years? Maybe a little bit more money, maybe a little bit more term than they wanted to go with Ivan Provorov. But the bottom line is they get their man. And listen, I've had to hear for years complaints about players that don't want to stay here. They want to leave. They want to go somewhere else. They think it's better somewhere else. Here is a guy that very much wanted to stay here right from the beginning. And he said it at the end of the regular season. And they find a way to keep him here. He's in your top four. I think it was invaluable in helping Denton Mateychuk make his adjustment from the American Hockey League to the National Hockey League last year. Yes, he's a left shot who's playing on the right side, but then again, who cares? Because he could handle the job. He proved that. And having Fabro back and having Provorov back, your top four is absolutely set. And the last thing you wanted to do is play that game of musical chairs with defensemen and have the music stop and not have an Ivan Provorov and have to hope that you can put Damon Severson into the top four and he's going to perform better than he has the last couple of years. You would have had a gaping hole, okay? It would have really hurt. No matter what you may think, it would have hurt. So they went and they got him signed, and he is back here, and he is extremely happy about that. You're going to hear from him in just a couple of minutes, and you'll hear how happy he is to be staying in Columbus. So the Blue Jackets get that done. They sign a centerman and Isaac Lundestrom to play in the bottom six, probably as a fourth-line centerman. He was playing in Anaheim, former first-round pick of the Anaheim Ducks. So they tried to get better where they could. And it doesn't mean that it's over, because you could still sign players. You could still make trades. And Don Waddell is always looking to make this club better. Look, he still needs another goalie. You've only got 3 in the system. You need to have 4. So at the very least, they're going to have to fill that hole. And who knows what else they might be able to do before training camp starts or during training camp or early in the season. Again, there's no timetable right now as far as when the Blue Jackets, they've got to make their team better by this date. They can do it at any point in time should the opportunity arise. So coming up, Dean Evason, Blue Jackets head coach, was in town for a development camp that was held last week. I had a chance to catch up with him. You'll hear from him in just a bit. But as I promised you, coming up next, Blue Jackets defenseman Ivan Provorov talking about his new contract and how happy he is to remain a Blue Jacket. This is the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank on 97.1 The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
The big one is back. The Good Guys 27th Summit Racing Nationals presented by PPG. All this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center in Columbus. Over 6,000 of the nation's baddest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Don't miss Good Guys Autocross racing action. A tire-smoking burnout competition. A pro street takeover. Earth-shaking Nitro Thunderfest. Meet the top builders in the industry and more. All this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center. Details at good-guys.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Choose from payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest, plus a free in-home window and energy assessment. Restrictions apply. Give them a call. 614-502-5220.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use law enforcement siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you if you get a speeding ticket, it doesn't end there. You have to pay expensive fines. You can't go to your friend's wedding because that also costs money. And your insurance rates could increase. See? We didn't have to use law enforcement sirens after all. Getting a speeding ticket has consequences. Sooner or later, speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
What does summer bring to mind? Lazy days by the pool? Hot dogs on the grill? How about large, sweaty men putting work in to defend their national title? Yes! Your summer home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to Metal Supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on Metal Supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. You tired of being tired, sick of feeling sluggish, bored with being bloated? Maybe if you're fed up with that feeling of fogginess, whatever your reason, your solution is only a click away. Reboot your life and enhance your summer at awaken180weightloss.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. I would know. I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
You hear that crunch? It's not just any crunch. It's cheesy to the edge crust that only comes from a Jets Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed dough topped with premium mozzarella, the freshest ingredients, and ladled with Mama Jet's secret sauce. Then baked to perfection in steel pans born on Motor City lines. I bet you're real hungry now. Go ahead. Visit jetspizza.com for daily hot deals. Jets. Better because it has to be.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies, light winds, warm and humid with isolated showers and storms on this Wednesday evening. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Overnight will fall back down to around 70. Another warm and humid and dry start to the day Thursday. Late day shower or thunderstorm possible Thursday. Otherwise partly sunny, hot and humid with highs in the upper 80s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
All Blue Jackets, all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. Ivan Provorov, brand new contract in hand, was at development camp last week. He wasn't participating in the camp. He was actually there working out, as he always does, getting set for the season. I had a chance to sit down and talk with him. First of all, Provy, congratulations on the new contract. How do you feel to have that whole thing out of the way and done?
Yeah, thank you very much. I obviously is very relieved, very happy to be back. Obviously, from the start, this is the place I went to. be at and re-sign, and took a little longer than expected, but we got it done, and now we're just happy that I'm really happy that I'm here and ready to work and start the new season.
How long was the process? I mean, like from the end of last season, well, maybe it even started before the end of last season for you when you were hoping to get this thing done. How long was the whole thing?
I mean, I think we had like one conversation in January, then kind of decided to leave it till after the season, and then it started right after the season ended. So obviously everyone says it's very stressful during your contract year, but when those games are going, you don't really have time to think about it. But as soon as the season ended, that's when I think became really stressful. But obviously I'm glad everything worked out, and happy to be here.
On your end, I suppose it took a lot of patience, really, right?
Yeah, definitely. But like, I understand that's part of the process, and everyone's got their own ways of negotiating and doing things. So I understood that part.
When did it really heat up, and when you knew that, hey, I think we're on the path to finish this thing?
I think a day and a half before free agency.
You should have just went on vacation until the last day before.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was still able to, do the things that I wanted to do in the summer, and obviously the thought of like not knowing was still in the back of your head. But like I said, I'm glad that it's all behind us, and now we can focus on being here for 7 years, and just enjoying our life off the ice, and trying to do my best on the ice.
When it was getting down to the last bit there, were you watching other signings and where other guys were going, or where they weren't going, just to try to figure out how it worked?
I mean, a little bit. But I mean, like I said, my main focus was try to stay here and re-sign here. And like I said, on and off the ice, I really enjoyed my time here. Overall as a family, we really enjoy our time here. So I was kind of just hoping we can get this done, and tried to not look too far ahead.
If you go back to when you got traded here from Philly, did you ever think or wonder if you would feel that way when your deal was up, that you would love it so much that you would want to be here for a long time?
Honestly, no. I think as a visitor, I think it's really hard to experience Columbus the proper way. I think, just playing in Philly and coming here to play another road game, you check into Hilton, you might go to one block, less than 1 block to Martini's, and you most of the time you would come in like late, so it'd be dark. You know what I mean? You don't get to fully experience Columbus and how great of a city it is to just live, raise a family. The suburbs are amazing. It's easy to get around. It's just a very comfortable way of living.
It is a very comfortable way of living. And you're right. When you go on the road, like our experience is just that. Mm-hmm. Hotel, the arena, and about a block to a 2-block radius of all of that. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, the game experience, which plays a lot into it, how crowds react to their home teams.
Yeah. I mean, like that part, I think, hockey-wise, you can definitely see, even as a visitor, that this fan base was very passionate. Obviously, the cannon gets you. I think it gets every rookie, especially because you're at the far end over there, right by the cannon, and it got me my first year. So on the hockey part, you definitely knew there was a great place to play. But I guess Columbus gets very misunderstood for the way of living and how great it is overall to be here all the time.
You talk about raising a family here in Columbus, and you've had Drake the pup star as your family, but you're going to have a child now and really get into that. How excited are you about that part, the off the ice, and what you're going to be with your family, and that you're going to do it right here?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Still a couple months to go, but just very excited just to, have our family grow and be able to do it here with around the people that, we enjoy spending time. And I think overall it's very exciting times for us moving forward.
I know you talked about it being a business, and if you had to move, you would have had to move. But speaking of family, your brother is committed to come to Ohio State in a couple of years. How excited are you for that as well, that you're going to be here with your family, and then your brother eventually will be in town?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously very excited for that part too. I moved out to the States when I was 14. He was 3 years old. So obviously we would spend time in the summers together, but for a decent amount of times we would spend the time apart. And to have him come here and be close and, be able to come over for dinners on a couple times a week would be very special.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had to get an extra room in the house, but you're going to have him live on campus, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously more than welcome to come in and stay whenever he wants to, but I'm sure he's going to want to experience, the Ohio State and be around his teammates and that, great campus that they have and overall. So I'm sure he's going to be able to come to my games and our games, and I'm going to try to make it out to as many games of his as I can.
Yeah, I think that's going to be great. What an awesome experience, and not very many people get to have.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I think definitely lucky that it worked out this way, and I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm talking with Ivan Provorov, defenseman for the Blue Jackets, and let's talk about this team, the way it's made up right now, which is very similar to the way that it was made up last year, especially on defense. Not only do you get re-signed, Dante Fabro is coming back. As you look at that mix you're going to have back there, 6, 7, 8 guys, how happy are you with the group that you have?
Yeah, I think we have a great group of guys on the back end. I think just having everyone healthy and back for the start of the season is going to be very important. I think having another year under our belt with the systems that we play is going to be very helpful, and just to have most guys locked up long term is very comforting, and we know that we're going to be able to do whatever we can to help the team win and take the time to continue to grow as a decor and get to know each other even more.
I'm glad you brought up the system, because last year at this time, I think Dean Evison was just being hired. Like, you didn't have a coach. You get a coach. You don't know the coach. You don't know what's expected. This year, it's completely different. When you come in from day one, in fact, right now, as you're working out, you know exactly what to expect from everybody, and that's got to be comforting, too.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you know the systems, you know the coaching staff, you know what they expect from you, you know what kind of style of play they expect from us. Overall, most guys, core guys are coming back, so it's I think it's very helpful, just because I think we left the season last year on a good note, and hopefully from the start of this new season we can build off of last season right away and continue to take the steps forward and continue to grow as a team and eventually reach the goal of making the playoffs. And once you make the playoffs, anything can happen.
I know there are a couple of changes. Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood come in here via trade, and then Isaac Lundestrom is coming in as a free agent. But I think what people forget, and I'll be honest with you, I forgot about it, and I heard somebody talking about it. I heard Don Waddell talking about it the other day, and I think it's very fair. You guys spent almost all of last season without your captain, Boone Jenner, almost all of it without Eric Goodbranson. I mean, those guys were on the shelf for months. Are those kind of two additions to this team without even making a move?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, as a team, you try to deal with adversity, and when anybody gets hurt, you're trying to have that next man mentality. But obviously, those guys are a big part of our team. Obviously, Booner is the captain. I think that speaks for itself. I think Goody has a ton of experience and been in the league for a long time, a very important guy on the penalty kill, and even like missing Mani for 2 months. I think, your number one center, great hockey sense overall, just elevates the team and elevates the power play significantly when he's on the ice.
When you talk about Sean Monahan specifically, you're absolutely right. I forgot about that one too. But, last year started with such tragedy, and it turned into so much hope at the end. And Can you guys replicate that? I mean, was that just something that happened because of what happened last year, or was that something that really formed the identity of this team and what you're going to be every year?
I mean, I think obviously it brought us closer. I think this is a very tight group overall, but obviously with everything that happened, I think our only way to get through it was to become even closer and support each other. And I think that definitely showed on the ice, because at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and a bunch of great individuals that are not on the same page can win a whole lot. So I think, I think this is a great group with a ton of potential and a lot more room to grow. And hopefully we're going to, start doing that as soon as the season starts.
How many texts or calls or both did you get the moment it was official?
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, obviously all the family and close friends, and then obviously the team group chat and all that. And yeah, quite a bit. Obviously it was overwhelming right away, just, because obviously you sign and then, or like you agree, and then like my wife and I barely had 30 seconds to take a moment to just take it all in, and then already news popped up on like TSN or Sportsnet or whatever they pop up on, So like that part, I wish we had a little bit more time, but overall, obviously exciting news, and obviously appreciate everyone that reached out and congratulated me. So
you're a throwback guy anyway. You would have been good when it didn't come out in the newspaper till a day or two later.
Yeah, that honestly, sometimes it's the best way, just so you're able to, take it all in and enjoy the moment with, your family and your close ones. But I understand that it was hours before like July 1st. So obviously the news had to come out.
Right. Now, with a child on the way and a couple of weeks before training camp starts, what's the rest of your summer look like?
Stay here, train, hopefully get a house, move in, and just prepare for the season and prepare for the baby to come, and just overall try to set ourselves up for a good 7 years.
Are you looking forward to picking a house?
Yes. It's also a stressful process, but I don't think it's as stressful as waiting on the contract.
No, and it won't take nearly as long.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, that's right. Will you get some golf in too?
Yeah.
Are you an avid golfer?
I would play every day if I could, but obviously, on a few days off and can't interfere with summer training. So
yeah, can't interfere with summer training. And a word of advice, my friend: get in as much as you can before that baby comes.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to fight it, thinking I can still play when when the baby comes.
Yeah, think what you want.
I know. I told my wife to get me like a attachment to the stroller so I can have my clubs and go on the course and take the baby with me and give her a couple of hours off. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
You know what? As it goes on, you might be able to talk her into that after the fact. Not right now.
No, I think she's in. She just doesn't think it will work, or
you'll make it work.
At least like skeptical about if it's going to work. But
they always are. But dads find a way to make it work.
With the love for the baby and the love for the game of golf, I think we'll make it work.
All right, Ivan. Again, it is great to have you back here. It's been fun working with you the last couple of years. Glad it's going to last for a long time. Congratulations, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you very much. Very looking forward to our future here.
That's Blue Jackets defenseman Ivan Provorov. Coming up next, I'm going to talk with Blue Jackets head coach Dean Evason about the team that he pretty much knows that he has going into training camp, as the Inside Edge continues on 97.1 The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.44%, APR 6.47% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Let's be honest, we could all use a little vacation from the ordinary. But with Tim Hortons' new refreshers, you don't need to pack your bags. Just sip, relax, and enjoy your refreshing 16-ounce vacation. With tropical mango packed with real pineapple and mango pieces. And strawberry watermelon kiwi featuring real pieces of strawberry and kiwi. Also, try it with lemonade or coconut milk. A choose-your-own taste bud adventure. Head to Tim's for the new refreshers. Your 16-ounce vacation awaits. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
They were national champs on the football field, but how far can they hit a softball? Find out at the Monogram Homes Cardale Jones Charity Softball Game.
Presented by the Ohio State University Army ROTC. Saturday, July 19th at Huntington Park.
Bring the whole family and watch Team Cardale battle Team Braxton Miller. Don't miss the Home Run Derby and see stars like Ted Ginn Jr. and Maurice Claret. Get your tickets at 971thefan.com. Do it now.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and now they're suggesting surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, save big on Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts. They're only $2.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try our exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Can't get enough Blue Jackets conversation? Good news. It's Hockey O'Clock. It's the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McGilligan. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. Blue Jackets head coach Dean Evison was at development camp, not necessarily on the ice with the prospects, but being around and having the opportunity to talk with some of these guys and meet with his coaches and plan for training camp that is upcoming in September. And since he was there, I had a chance to sit down and catch up with him and see what he thinks about the team that he has right now.
Basically, your team is set
for this year, and it looks very similar to the one that you had last year with a couple of exceptions. From the coach's standpoint, when you look at it, how happy are you with the group you're going to coach this year?
Yeah, very excited. Obviously, we've added some pieces, some guys that we feel, obviously can play the game, but all indications, and I know Coyle, from my days in Minnesota, that they're quality people, will fit into our room, our team first mentality. To have veteran guys that can play the game, all three guys that we obviously picked up are big, strong, physical guys as well, can skate. So we like the additions and obviously excited about getting it going.
When you talk about Charlie Coyle in the days in Minnesota, you were the assistant coach then when he was playing there. What, besides his personality that you just talked about, and we experienced that, I talked to him briefly the night of the draft, and you could just feel that coming out of him. But as a player, what does he bring to you that's going to help to strengthen the bottom six here?
Well, again, big, strong guy, right shot, centerman, versatile, can play either wing as well. But we've got him slotted as a centerman right now, playing the penalty kill, possibly a bit on the PP. But yeah, a guy that has played in winning cultures, has been around, understands the game. I know his attention to detail as far as systematically and how dialed in he is in that area. It won't take him long to learn our system and how we want to play. And then the competitive level that he brings each and every night will obviously be an asset to us.
How much do you know about Miles Wood? Because you were in the West when he was playing in Jersey, and then, of course, he goes out to Colorado, and now you're back in the East. So have you seen a lot of him through your tenure?
Yeah, I guess not a lot, but every time that we have played them, you see the ability to skate. You see the physicality, the forecheck, the get after it, the hungry, dog on a bone mentality. And combine that with that physical presence is extremely exciting for us. And again, I don't know him. I actually haven't spoke to him yet. We exchanged voice messages. But looking forward to seeing him again within our locker room, because all indications that anybody that I've spoke to said that he's a wonderful person and a great teammate.
Have you thought about maybe pairing him with Matthew Olivier, or is that too much? No, that's right up your alley. That kind of a line would be right up your alley.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, we talked about this before, we got the magnet board in our room, and we're constantly, playing with it, and obviously we'll test some stuff out in training camp and through preseason to see who has chemistry with who and what positions and what have you. So, the nice thing is that if we were to do that or not do that, we think that we've got a team and plenty of players that can play in all three positions, certainly in the forward area.
One thing you never know as a coach when you go into the trade periods and all of that stuff is, will any of the guys that I really would not like to see have to leave as part of a package somewhere? How happy are you that you get through that and your team is really intact and you've still got guys, and especially younger guys that took steps last year and they're going to be able to continue to try to do that?
Yeah, I think that's the very exciting part for the organization, is that we have a team that's, we've got some younger players. Obviously, we've got some veteran guys, but we've got a lot of players that are coming back that, as you said, made very significant strides in their career and helping us, have some success last year. We've talked about this, that we didn't have enough success, clearly. We didn't win the Stanley Cup. We didn't make the playoffs. We didn't win a first round, but second, third round. But we, have taken a step forward, and that's what we're looking forward to. Doing here, starting at training camp, is continuing the development of our organization to get to that ultimate goal of winning the Stanley Cup.
Talking with Dean Evason, the head coach of the Blue Jackets, going into the summer, there was a lot of talk about revamping the defense or trying to make the defense better. And when it's all said and done, you got the same guys coming back. Dante Fabro resigns, Ivan Provorov resigns. But quite frankly, isn't that a pretty good defense?
Yeah, I think we're very excited about our defense, and it also says a lot about what has been created here within that locker room. Is that the players want to stay here, right? Even the players that have left us, that were with us last year, they were looking to stay as well. Obviously, we think that what we've done is upgraded in a lot of the positions, and so that clearly made some people not or dispensable. But we clearly had areas where we thought that we could improve on. Hopefully, we've done the right things to do that, but. It's exciting to have people come back, want to be Columbus Blue Jackets. If it's the guys that were here, or if the free agents and people that are coming to us, from other teams, they want to be here in Columbus, not only because of the wonderful city, obviously, and everything that surrounds that, but to be within that dressing room and part of our organization.
And Ivan Provorov is one that's right near the top of that list, if not at the very top of that list. Yeah. The things he was able to do to help Denton Mateychuk in his getting used to the National Hockey League and how to play, how valuable was that, and how much are you looking forward to that continuing in training camp and at the start of the year?
Well, Denton's obviously a terrific player. Clearly, he's going to be an NHL player for a long time. But you're right. Coming in as a young guy, to have that, not only his maturity, his veteran leadership on the ice and talking to him constantly about situational stuff and what have you on the bench and on the ice, to watch Provorov go through his preparation, to watch him train in between games and prepare for games, prior to games, after games, to have a player like that, a person like that you can look to and say, oh, this is what it's like to prepare and to be in the National Hockey League for as long as he is, in the condition that he is, not only physically but mentally, is obviously a guy that not only Denton should look to, but the entire group.
Goaltending is a position last year where you had three guys. You used all three guys. By the end of the year, I don't know if it sorted itself out or if it didn't, but right now, Daniil Tarasov goes to Florida. You've got Elvis Merzlikins, you've got Jet Greaves. They're going to come to camp. They're going to battle. Yeah. What are you looking for in those two guys? And are you just looking for them to push each other, to pull the best out of one another so you can find a guy that maybe you anoint a number one?
I think the word that you just used is they're going to battle for that number one position. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to support each other, they're not going to be good teammates, but no different than every one of our forwards and every one of our defensemen. We want them to compete, to push us to play them in all situations, to play minutes, and that's what our goaltenders have to do. We want both of them to push each other to be best so that we can be good. We're going to have to use both goalies and our third guy, whoever that may be, to play games for us. But yeah, we want them to compete against each other for the opportunity to play more in the Columbus Blue Jackets net.
And that will probably be good for both of them, because if you look at it, I mean, Jet was a clear-cut starter in Cleveland the last couple of years, and he excelled. And maybe with or without being pushed, he excelled. Elvis it's been up and down for him here. I guess in a perfect world, they push each other, and it brings the best out of both.
Yeah, and you know what? I've heard that with Elvis. Elvis was terrific last year. He really was. Obviously, he got hurt at the end. Jet came in, played extremely well. Tarasov played well too when was called upon. But yeah, as far as Elvis is concerned, Elvis won us more games than he lost us games or didn't give us a chance to win. So loved how he took a step forward with his team first mentality and playing for not only himself but for the team and the organization. So yeah, he made great steps. So it's going to be wonderful to watch that competition unfold. And end of the day, I hope they play equal, and because that means that they're both playing great.
Last year at this time, you were just getting hired by the organization and coming in and starting to put your plans together and get with your staff and all of those things. How nice is it a year later that everything is set in stone? Your players know you, you know them, they know what to expect, you know what to expect from them. Does it get easier?
Yeah, for sure. We just went through meetings yesterday with the coaching staff, our entire coaching staff. We've got Cleveland staff here as well that sat in. But yeah, it's fun and comfortable, obviously, to now know that the players are going to teach each other as well. They know how to play. We're making some tweaks. What we went through yesterday was going over all our systematic stuff. Each coach has a department. Talk about whatever the offensive zone, what we'd like to do better. We had a little meeting at the end of the year, but we wanted to go through, watch the playoffs, watch the teams that have success, the Florida Panthers, the Edmonton Oilers, watch how they play the game, see if we want to implement some stuff that they're doing in order for us to be better. And everybody had suggestions in their department. We talked about it. We made some tweaks. Now we go back, find some video so that we can teach our team these little situational stuff, some tweaks that we want to make in our game in order for us to be better.
What's on the schedule for you after this? You're in for development camp, and then training camp doesn't start until mid-September. How many rounds of golf will you have?
Well, if you could wrap this up, I could be on the tee in like 40 minutes.
I know.
Or so.
I can see how it's irritating.
It's getting a little long for me right now.
This is the end if you add.
All right. Well, okay, I'll carry on. I guess I don't got a tee time till 1. So, I play a lot of golf. It's not a secret. I'm very passionate about golf. I love it. I think it's an incredible game. I love all sports, but golf is something that it's such a challenge. It's such a not only physical but mental game that you got to grind sometimes, and it's fun to compete out there. And you have partners sometimes, obviously, but a lot of times you're playing clearly against yourself. And trying to be better. So I play a lot of golf. I'll do a little traveling. I've got 3 grandsons all over Canada and 3 children. So I'll be traveling a lot, but I'll get some downtime and play as much golf as I possibly can.
All right, I don't want you to miss that tee time. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Always great to catch up with you.
Appreciate it.
That's Blue Jackets head coach Dean Evason. Coming up next, I'll wrap up this week's edition of the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank here on 97.1 The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com. Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fans YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Burb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Getting started in hockey has never been easier. The Blue Jackets Learn to Play program, presented by Performance Columbus in association with Moo Express Car Wash and Kroger, is an introductory ice hockey program for boys and girls ages 4 to 10. Classes are held year-round at the Ohio Health Chiller Ice Rinks. Registration includes age-appropriate instruction and head-to-toe equipment, yours to keep. Hockey starts here at bluejackets.com/learn-to-play.
Create career momentum with us at Worthington Steel. Whether you're a recent grad or a seasoned veteran looking to level up, we'll empower your journey. Join a team that puts people first with career development programs, competitive pay, and excellent benefits, including lower health insurance premiums than comparable companies. Let's drive steel forward together. Apply today at worthingtonsteel.com/careers. That's worthingtonsteel.com/careers.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
All Blue Jackets, all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Wrapping up this week's edition of the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank. Some NHL news and notes. Yesterday, there was a trade made in the National Hockey League. Isaac Howard, who was a former first-round pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning and a guy that really made it quite clear that he wasn't going to join the Lightning. He wasn't going to sign by the time that he had to be signed, and if Tampa wasn't able to get him into the fold, he was going to become a free agent. So they were able to solve that problem yesterday. They traded Isaac Howard to the Edmonton Oilers. In exchange, Sam O'Reilly comes back the other way. So this is a trade of big prospect guys. Now, Isaac Howard is the reigning Hobey Baker winner. He was the best player in college hockey last year. He had already announced that he was going back to college. He was going to play at Michigan State, and they were thrilled about it because hardly ever do you get a Hobey Baker Award winner that goes back to college. But that's exactly what Isaac Howard said he was going to do, and now he's not. And I'll tell you why. Because as soon as that trade was made, he signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Edmonton Oilers. So he is he's not going to play college hockey. As a matter of fact, there's a good chance he will play in the National Hockey League along with Connor McDavid this year. Sam O'Reilly was a 32nd overall pick by the Edmonton Oilers. He played with the London Knights. So, as I said, this is a top prospect, or what one team looks at as a top first-round pick prospect, trading it to another team for their first-round top prospect guy. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so that was the exchange made between those two teams. Now, interestingly enough, speaking of Michigan State, Caden Lindstrom, who last year was the first-round pick of the Blue Jackets, 4th overall in the draft, that's where he has decided to go and play his college hockey this fall. So he will not be joining Isaac Howard. I could see that as being a great opportunity for Caden Lindstrom, because he, too, is a top player, and they're bringing him in there as a Spartan because they're looking for him to be the 4th overall pick in the draft, right? And Caden has had some injury problems. He had the back injury even when he got drafted. He didn't play at all last year until the playoffs. He did go back to Medicine Hat in the Western Hockey League, and he played in the playoffs. They won the league championship, and he went and he played in the Memorial Cup. But there's a lot of question as to what he is going to be. He can be an outstanding player, and it'll be great for everybody involved if he is an outstanding player. But there's a gaping hole there now that Isaac Howard has left Michigan State. Also, Gavin McKenna, who's projected to be the first overall pick in next summer's draft, he's decided to leave Medicine Hat, and guess where he's going? Penn State. And the Penn State Nittany Lions, they've got Jackson Smith, who the Blue Jackets drafted with their 14th overall pick. Jackson Smith leaving the Western Hockey League, and he's going to Penn State. Gavin McKenna, it's been reported that he's making big money in NIL money to go to Penn State. So the Nittany Lions, after getting to the Frozen Four this past year, they're really looking to jump forward with their organization. So they made a big splash with Gavin McKenna getting signed this week. So some interesting news and notes in hockey. Speaking of Caden Lindstrom and speaking of Jackson Smith, being that each of them was a first-round pick, the first-round pick of the Blue Jackets in the last two drafts, you'll hear from them next week on this very show. That's right. They were at development camp for Caden Lindstrom. Last year, he was there. He wasn't able to be a participant. This year, he was a participant. Jackson Smith was as well. I had a chance to sit down and talk with each of them, and you will hear those conversations next week here on the summertime edition of the Inside Edge. I would like to thank Ivan Provorov and say once again how thrilled I am that he is staying with the Blue Jackets, and he will continue to play on that blue line. So thanks to Ivan Provorov for sitting down with me, and, of course, thanks to Dean Evison, the Blue Jackets head coach, for taking some time here today as well. That's going to do it for this edition of the Inside Edge. It's presented by First Merchants Bank. I'm Bob McElligott. So long. You're listening to 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Summer is hot, sticky, and buggy. But Modelo is cold, crisp, and smooth. When you're sweating through your shirt and the beach is mad crowded, the lime and salt flavors of a Modelo Chelada hit just right. When the weather's perfect but you're still at work, it's time to clock out and stock up on Modelo. Drink responsibly. Beer and flavored beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
You ever feel like your money is just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money is always doing something.
Like what?
Like automatically pushing more to savings so you can take that trip.
I like trips.
Who doesn't? It even tracks your progress. You're almost there.
Wow, I better pack.
And it charts your spending so you know which vacation hat you can afford.
How does it know I like hats?
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall. Sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating. Not like me singing loudly in the shower frustrating. Real life aggravation. They might not return your call. The workmanship is sloppy. Maybe there's just general indifference about helping you. Frustrating sometimes doesn't even describe it. That's why I want to tell you about my new friends at Victor's Home Solutions. Victor's installs the highest quality roofs and windows you can buy, and they'll take those negative experiences you've had and turn them on their head. You'll experience prompt follow-up service, on-time appointments, and their teams are helpful, professional, and courteous. Their service and installation crews always go above and beyond because they know how much your home means to you. They offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install, and their windows come fully equipped with lifetime warranties. So call 1-866-VICTORS or go to victors.com. Get your free 21-point roof and window inspection. Experience their 5-star customer service and see why they have a 4.9 Google rating. Again, that's 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank, with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Broadcasting from the